So today we are going to continue with our discussion on greedy algorithms. The next problem statement which I want to discuss is shortest path algorithm. Now we have already discussed Prim's approach for finding out minimum spanning tree. Ideally speaking, this algorithm, this shortest path algorithm is purely based on this algorithm. But since we are discussing minimum spanning tree algorithms together to understand the exact difference between the approach of two algorithms, we have discussed Prim's approach first, and then we are discussing its parent algorithm approach. So it's fine. It will be good to. I think it will be easy for you to understand this algorithm. First of all, we need to understand what do we mean by shortest path algorithm. Now, path means what basically? In for any given graph, let us say you have a. Let me share this. So okay. So let us say this is one graph. Okay, forget about this other things. This is one graph, right? Now for this graph, path means a set of edges which connects any two vertices. So for example, if I want to say that path between A to E, then there are multiple paths which connects A and E. So one of that is direct connection between these two. Then there is ADE, then there is ABCE, then ABCE, then ABDE, then ABCDE. So these are the different paths between the two vertex A and E. Now we are interested in shortest path. Shortest means what? The path with minimum weight. So as we know that this is not a simple graph, it's a weighted graph. Weighted graph means that every edge will have some weight associated with it. So shortest path means that out of all these feasible solutions, now just try to relate this with the greedy algorithms. When I say I want to find out the path between A and E, this is my problem statement. This is my objective. Now, what are the feasible solutions? The solutions which we have just discussed. The path between A to E means AE, ADE, ADCE, ABCE, ABDE, ABCDE. So these all are feasible solutions. But what is our objective? Objective is to find out the shortest path. Shortest with respect to the weight associated of that particular path. So if you see the weight associated between two approaches, then you can see that if you consider this path AE, then it's 3. If you consider ADE, then it is 13 plus 2, 15. If you consider ABDE, then it is 2 plus 5, 7 plus 2, 9. So our objective is to find out the shortest one. Shortest means with respect to, shortest doesn't means that minimum number of edges. We are not interested in minimizing number of edges. Take this as an example. Let us say we want to find out shortest path between A and D. So there can be multiple approach, but I just have observed two of them. First is path between A to D directly. So we have a direct edge between A and D, so which has weight as 13. There is another path as well, which is A, B, and D. Now, if you see the total weight of this path, then AB is 2 and BD is 5. So 2 plus 5 is 7. So it means that the path between A to D is 7 if you go by this. If you go by this, then it is 13. So our output should be 7 and not 13. The shortest doesn't mean the minimizing number of edges. Shortest means minimizing the total weight of the edges which connects or which is part of this path. So I hope the problem statement is clear, that we are interested. What we have been given is a graph, a weighted directed graph with weight function. Weight function means there is a weight associated with each and every edge. Path P is basically a subset of edges. Now, what do we mean by subset of edges? There are number of edges, like an edge between V0 to V1, then there is between V1 to V2, then V2, V3, then V3, V4, then Vk minus 1 to Vk, where V0 is your source vertex, Vk is your destination vertex. So the path means the sum of weight of its constituent edges. So if you see this, the weight of every edge, Vi minus 1, Vi, you total it, that will give you the total weight of the path. Our objective is to minimize this value P. So we need to find out that alternative of this, which has minimum value of this. So there are two possibilities, that because there can be a disconnected graph as well. We'll not discuss that at this time, but we'll discuss within an example. The disconnected graph means that there exists no path between two subset of a graph. So in that case, the shortest path will be infinity if two vertices belongs to the two different subset of the graph. Otherwise, this is the shortest one. Shortest means minimizing this. There are different versions of this algorithm. Single source shortest path. It means that you have been given a graph like this, and you have been given a source vertex like this. So let us say A is your source vertex. Then this problem statement, single source shortest path, it highlights, or it actually finds the shortest path from this source vertex to all the vertices or remaining vertices of a graph. So that means shortest path between A to B, A to D, A to E, and A to C. Second version is single destination shortest path. The difference between this is, in case of the previous one, source was given like A. In the other one, destination is given like E. So now your objective is to find out shortest path between all the edges A to E, D to E, C to E, then B to E. So this is single destination shortest path. Next is single pair shortest path. Single pair shortest path means you have been given a pair of vertices. Instead of a single vertex, you have been given two vertices. So let us say you have been given A and C. Now objective is to find out shortest path between A and C. And the last one is all pair shortest path. That means your objective is to find out the shortest path between every pair of vertices. So if this is the algorithm, or sorry, this is the problem statement, then your objective is to find out the shortest path between A to B, A to D, all this, whatever AB, AC, AD, AE, BE, BC, DB, BC, BD, BE, all the pairs within a graph. So you need to find out shortest path of each of these pair. Out of four approaches, what we are interested or what we are targeting is the first approach in Dijkstra's algorithm. So single source shortest path is an approach which is being targeted by the Dijkstra, right? Before we discuss further, there is an important topic which is to be understood, that is called a negative weight cycle. Now, when you say that you have a weight associated with each and every edges, there may be a case where you have a negative weight associated as well. So if you see this graph, there are two edges which has negative weight. Also, the graph can be directed as well. Directed means that every edge has some associated or direction to that. So basically what we have now, this is a graph which is a directed graph because edge has some direction association. Also it is a weighted graph because each edge has some weight association, and this weight can be negative as well. When you have this scenario, you have to understand that there may exist some negative weight cycle. let me give you this example. See this loop EF, right? What do we mean by negative weight cycle? It means that the total weight of all the edges which actually makes a loop or which makes a cycle, the total weight is negative. There are two loops here. One is this between C and D. So you have C to D as 6 and D to C as minus 3. So 6 plus minus 3 is plus 3. So this is not negative weight cycle. But if you see this E and F, you have E to F as 3 and F to E as minus 6. If you find out the sum of weight of all the edges, that is 3 plus minus 6, that turns out to be minus 3, that is negative. This is the case of negative weight cycle. And when you have a negative weight cycle inside a graph, shortest path will turns out to be minus infinity for that particular vertices, which actually involves in the negative weight cycle. Also, when you have a unconnected graph, something like this, so this is an entire graph, but it is actually comprising of two different components. First component is this and second one is this. When you have this kind of a scenario, and if you want to find out, let us say, a path from S to H, then it turns out to be infinity because there is no connection or there is no edge which actually connects these two components. So this will be infinity, infinity, infinity. So I hope you understood this, that in which case it will be infinity and in which case it will be minus infinity. Minus infinity is basically a case of negative weight cycle. All the vertices which are part of negative weight cycle, its shortest path, this will be minus infinity. The reason for that is, let us understand this. Let us say you want to find out the shortest path between S to E, right? So how can you find out that? Simplest approach is you first see what is the connection between these two. So S2 is 2. You have to see the alternative as well. So what are the alternative? S2E, E2F and F2E. So this is another path also, right? So if you find out, if you see this edge, it will be 2 initially. Then this will be 2 plus 3, so it will be 5. Then you have 5 minus 6. So 5 minus 6 is minus 1. Initial weight was 2. Minus 1 is less than 2. So this will be changed to minus 1. Again, minus 1 plus 3. So that is plus 2. Plus 2 minus 6. So that is minus 4. Minus 4 is again less than minus 1. So this will be changed to minus 4. Minus 4 plus 3, minus 1, minus 1, minus 6, minus 7. Change to minus 7. So this will keep on decreasing the total weight of this or the distance of this edge from source vertex. So basically that's why it is minus infinity. And also it is also applied to this vertex as well. So this is the concept of negative weight cycle. Why we are discussing it? Because the Dijkstra's algorithm will not work if it will not detect any negative weight cycle, right? Why shortest path algorithm can be solved using greedy? Because it has optimal substructure property. Optimal substructure property means that, let us say you want to find out a shortest path between S to G, then there are two problem statements we can divide into that, or there can be number of different sub problems, but let us say we have these two sub problems. A shortest path between S to G can be obtained by finding shortest path between S to D and D to G, or similarly S to B and B to G, or S to A and A to G. So basically this is an optimal substructure property. Shortest path between two vertices contains the other shortest path within it. So if you can find out something which is shortest between S to D, then when you are computing for S to G, you have a shortest path between S to D, and then you will find out shortest path between D to G. So this is why it is called an optimal substructure property. It's a greedy property, we know that. The reason for that is that when you find any shortest path, very simple example is that if you want to reach Or if you want to find out shortest path between, let us say, Mumbai and Ahmedabad, then what is the shortest path between these two cities? On the larger context, you have a shortest path between Mumbai and Surat, and you have another shortest path between Surat and Ahmedabad. So the shortest path between Mumbai and Ahmedabad contains the shortest path between Mumbai and Surat and Ahmedabad. So this is called an optimal substructure property. The larger problem statement is actually containing the solution, or or the solution of the larger problem statement can be derived by using the solutions of the sub problems of it. So it's a greedy approach we can use for that. Two approaches, or sorry, two algorithms are used for shortest path algorithm. One is greedy, another is dynamic based on dynamic programming. We will not discuss this at this time. We'll be discussing it in the next topic or next chapter. But this is an approach which is based on greedy. Now, relaxation, you will find in the literature that Dijkstra's algorithm involves relaxation. Now, let us understand this term. What do we mean by relaxing? Obviously, by the name itself, you can understand that relaxing means that releasing a load, right? So, let us say you have these two cases. The shortest distance of u from another vertex is 5, current, and current shortest distance of v from the same vertex is 9, and there exists an edge between u and v which has weight as 2. Obviously, if you want to relax this edge, relaxing edge means updating the shortest distance of the vertices which are connecting, or which are comprising, or which are actually the endpoints of that particular edge. So what is the shortest distance is 5, what is the weight is 2, and what is the direction, it is from u to v. So obviously if I want to compute the shortest distance via uv, then you have 5 plus 2, that is 7. 7 is less than 9. So that means after relaxing this edge, the shortest distance will be changed to this. But this will not be the case for every time. Let us consider this example. You have current shortest distance as 5 for u and 6 for v, and you are relaxing this edge. Relaxing this edge means that updating the weight of the destination vertex if it's a directed graph. And always most of the shortest path algorithm are involves the directions as well. So it's a directed graph. So we have a direction from u to v. The distance of v is currently 6, and we have a connection between u to v with a weight as 2. So if you relax this edge, then 5 plus 2 will become 7, but 7 is greater than 6. Because your v is already having a shortest distance via some another route, you will not consider this edge as a part of shortest distance for v. So that's why this edge after relaxation will be ignored and distance will not be updated. So this is actually uh, the term which the author is using. And what is the approach? Approach is very simple. You will keep on relaxing the edge till the shortest path is gained for, in case of a single source, shortest path. So let us understand the algorithm. Let us see what we have. So these all are terms related to the algorithm. We'll discuss it later. As we approach, we first discuss the approach and then we will discuss the algorithm. So let us take one example. So let us say we have this simple algorithm, a simple graph. Take the same example. Okay, so there are five vertices. This is vertex S. Okay, you have vertex U. Then you have vertex V. One more vertex X, and Y. These are the five vertices, and S is our source vertex. So our source vertex is S. Now we have an edges. And you have so these are the set of edges. Because it's a directed graph, so you have some weight associated. Okay, so these are the weight associated to each and every age. Now, as we have done in the Kruskal's approach, we are actually maintaining the uh, priority queue. Sorry, not as the Kruskal's approach, but as Prince approach. We are maintaining the priority queue. So what will be the first step? First step is obviously the algorithm is shortest path algorithm, and it is single source shortest path algorithm. So S is my source vertex, and U, V, X, and Y, these are my destination vertices. So my objective is to find out the path between S to U, S to X, S to V, S to Y, right? There are no negative weight associated in a graph, because Disaxa's algorithm will not work properly, or it will not terminate actually when you have a negative weight as association. So basically Disaxa's algorithm will not work for negative weight. So this is the scenario. The first step is to create a queue, right? Algorithm starts like this. Initially, it assigns some weight to every other vertices. So consider this is as a 0 and this dash as infinity, right? I don't have any symbol for infinity right now. So consider this as an infinity. So initially what it means, source vertex, the distance between S to S is always going to be 0 because it's a source vertex. So initialize it to 0. Then initialize the distance of every other vertex u, v, x, y to infinity, assuming that these are not connected, right? So assuming that they are not connected, okay. Actually, I don't think this is going to help you. So let us write it in the same way we have done it in Kruskal's approach. Okay. So we are maintaining a queue, and distance of every vertex. So distance of S is S. Then you have Q S U V X Y and mean. So you have mean S U V X Y. Excuse me. Initially, the distance of S to S is 0. This is infinity, 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 infinity. And my Q contains all the vertices. So S, U, X, S, U, V, X, Y. Right? So this is my initialization, similar to Prim's approach. Now what is the next step? Next step is you will extract one vertex that vertex should be a vertex of minimum distance. So what you will do, S will be extracted because it has minimum distance. Now relax all the edges which are leaving S. Leaving S means the edges which has S as a source vertex. So how many edges which are leaving S? So there are two vertices. There are two edges. One is S to U, another is S to X. Relaxing means to check two endpoints. What is the current weight? Here it's 0, here it's infinity. If you relax this, 0 plus 10, it is 10. This is infinity. 10 is less than infinity. So that means the distance of U will be changed to 10 instead of infinity. Similarly, you will update the distance of X as well. It's infinity and this is 5. So this will be updated to 5. So this will be the, after first equation, what you have is SU, V, X and Y, right? So now the distance is 10 here and this is 5. Next is, again you repeat this. So what is the minimum? There are 4 vertices in a Q, U, V, X and Y. 10, infinity, 5 and infinity. So this is minimum, right? So this will be extracted X and my Q changes U, V and Y. Okay. So now X is extracted. Relax all the edges which are leaving X. So how many edges which are leaving X? There is one XY, another is XV, another is XU. Okay. So let us consider one by one. XY. Okay, what is the weight of X is 5. What is the weight of Y is infinity. What is the weight of XY is uh, 2. So this is 5 plus 2. That turns out to be 7. 7 is less than infinity. So that's why this will be changed. One thing we have missed actually, and that is the parent. So let us also keep the track of parent of each vertex. Right. So this is my vertex and this is parent. So you have S, you have U, this is S, U, V, X and Y. Okay. Initially parent are, you can say, null. Okay. We have updated these U and X, so that's why parent of U is S, parent of X is also S. So after first iteration, this is the situation of parent matrix. This is the situation of Q. Now X is extracted. We are relaxing all the edges which are leaving X. So X is XY is there. Current weight of Y is infinity. So XY will change to 5 plus 2, that is 7. right? And parent of y will be changed to x. Similarly, there is another x2, so this is changed to 7. Another is this age, so 5 plus 9, 14. This is infinity, so this will be changed to 14. This is changed to 14, and because we updated this value via x, so v of, or the parent of v, will be changed to x, right? The third age is between x to this one, between x and u. The current weight of x is 5, weight of xu is 2, so 5 plus 2 is 7. Current weight of u is 10, so 10 will be updated because 7 is less than 10, so this will be updated to 7. Because we have changed the value of u, now parent of u will be changed to x, and similarly this will be changed to 7. So this is the scenario after second iteration. Okay. Now you have two options. It's extract mean, so any one will be extracted. So let us say y is extracted. So y is extracted, so that's why now you have two vertices in a cube, u and v. Y is extracted. Identify all the edges which are leaving y. How many edges which are leaving? Leaving means the source is y. So there are two edges. I think one is this. Okay. Because this is v to y, this is y to v. So there is one 4. This is one edge, and second edge is this. So there are two edges which is to be relaxed. Let us consider this first. So there is an edge between y and v. Current weight of y is 7. Edge weight is 4. So 7 plus 4, 11. What is the current distance of v? It is 14. 11 is less than 14. So this will be changed to 11. This will be changed to 11. And at the same time, parent of v will be changed to y. Okay. Another edge is this, between y and s. S is already 0, so no update. So this will be as it is. Okay. So this is the scenario after a third iteration. Now you have two vertices in a cube, 7 and 11. 7 is u, 11 is y. Distance of u is 7, distance of v is 11. So which one is minimum? Minimum is this. So 7, that means u will be extracted. Okay. Identify all the edges which are leaving u. So you have one between these two, you have another. So there are two edges, two outgoing edges from u. So if you see this first, then this is 7 plus 1, 8, which is less than 11. So this will be updated to 8. Because we updated this, parent of v will be changed to u. And at the same time, 8. So this is done. Another edge is this. So this is 7. 7 plus 3 is 10. Already distance of x is 5. 5 is less than 10. We are interested in minimum distance. So that means this relaxation will not affect the distance of x. So it will remain as it is. So now you have this scenario, you have this 8 as it is. I think it was 11 here, and then it was changed to 8. Okay, so this is after fourth iteration. Obviously, there is only one vertex in a queue, so that will be extracted. Now your queue is empty. V is extracted. So observe how many outgoing edges. So there is one, this one, V and Y. V is 8, Y is, V is 8, this is 6, so 8 plus 6 is 14. 14 is greater than 7, so no update. Then another, is there any another age? So no other ages from which are leaving V. So that means this is done. Now, so these are the shortest distance of every other vertex from source. For U it is 7, for V it is 8, for X it is 5, and for Y it is S. Now how you will find out the path, because we are interested in path and not the distance, that can be derived from this parent matrix. How? Let us say you want to find out the path between S and U. So you will start with U. What is the parent of U? It is X. Then what is the parent of X? It is S. So path between S to U can be defined by S, X and U. Similarly, if you want to find out for V, what is the parent of V? It is U. So you should start something like this. Parent of V is U. Then what is the parent of U? Parent of U is X. What is the parent of X? Parent of X is S, which is your source vertex. So the path between S to V is something like this. Then you have direct path between S to X because parent of X is S. Then you have Y2, so Y to X. Who is the parent of X? Parent of X is S. Right. So these are the path from source vertex to every other destination vertex. And you observe this path SXU. SXU. So this is 5 plus 2, 7. Then SXUV. 5 plus 2, 5 plus 2, 7 plus 1, 8. SX, SX5 and Y. SXY. SX is 5, 5 plus 2 is 7. So this is how you can derive shortest path using Dijkstra's approach. Okay. So if you observe, it is pretty similar to what we have done in Prim's algorithm. The only difference over here is that instead of a key value you are maintaining in a Prim's algorithm, you are actually maintaining the distance value. So we will discuss, I hope it's clear. And as the time is up, we will be discussing the algorithm, actual algorithm in the next class. So let me save this. If you have any doubt, we will be discussing it in the next class. So have a good day.